want to know.
You've been in the business 15 years. You're not just going to hold a free seminar for 30, 40 cats to come in and listen to you flap your gums. Right. Something's got to be in it for you. He's on the take. He's in the business. He's a businessman. He's a hustler. Cost you $45 to get the key to the future. And let me tell you this real quick. The Dallas Sportatorium was in a shithole part of Dallas, Texas, industrial and Cadiz, and they tore it down. But there's liquor stores all over the place. When people went to the TV tapings on Saturday mornings, the atmosphere was pretty thick, had some pretty good angles going. And the business was on a little bit of a decline. But here we are on the line. The show's over. All the marks are going home. So I'm standing there. And I see some of the boys coming out and getting in their cars and driving off. Where comes all the fans? And they see me there. They come over and start asking me for my autograph. My name is Steve Williams. And I was embarrassed as a motherfucker. Said, hey, man, can we have your autograph? I was like, well, I'm not anybody. I'm not a wrestler.
Are you a big college football fan? Is that?
Yeah. Did you see me in North Texas? We were 2-9 this year. No, but they started asking me for my autograph. And I was finally, I had to sign a couple because they kept insisting. And they said, no, man, go ahead and sign it. We know you'll make it. So there's a couple of people out there in Dallas, Texas that have my autograph, Steve Williams. And it was very embarrassing for me to sign those things, but I did it upon their insistence. That's how shy and humble and stupid I was.
At Subaru Concord, we want you to enjoy every mile of this ride called life. Get up to $2,846 off MSRP, plus 1.9% APR financing.
One of your first successful runs was, against the varsity club. You had the amateurs really showcasing their talent at a professional level. What are some of the memories you have?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Varsity club?
No.
You don't remember wrestling varsity
club?
All right.
Why, you heard that?
That you wrestled against the varsity club?
Yeah.
It was Dr. Dusty Williams.
Oh, really? This is cut, right?
Oh, post-production.
Right. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys seen it? Really? Did it happen?
Yeah.
Did it really?
It
must have been short-lived because I don't remember it.
Okay.
You guys seen it, actually? Well, it must have been the shits then because I don't remember.
What do you remember from that superplex with Hardcore Holly that really effectively ended your WWE?
So I went to the Iran-Iraq conflict. I was in San Diego because that's where I was stationed, and I was in a park, and I was boxing with a guy, and this guy comes by and he goes, "Oh, you look like you know what you're doing with your hands." He goes, "I'm a professional wrestler. I'd like to invite you to Tijuana to watch a wrestling match." And I was like, "Is this guy trying to pick me up?"
Yeah.
And so he goes, "You like boxing, right?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "What do you think of?" He started to name all these Mexican champions, Salvador Sanchez, Cesar Chavez. I go, "Bro, those guys are great." He goes, "Well, come to Mexico. I want to show you some of the best Mexican wrestlers." He goes, "As a matter of fact, I'm the world champion." And he opens up his trunk and he shows me his championship belt. I was like, wow. And he was limping at the time. And I was like, "Why are you limping?" And he said, "Well, I got into a fight in the dressing room and I got hurt." He goes, "But I'm going to be back." But he goes, "I'm going to train you." So
Because he saw you in the park.
Yeah, right. So he brings me to the show.
We are looking for gamers who want to learn how to become video game testers, designers, or programmers. If any of these interest you, then swipe to the left to see if you qualify. This game design program has no application deadline, meaning you can start classes soon. And it's offered at an accelerated pace, meaning you can graduate soon.
Business owners, I'm talking to y'all. You do know that you should be running your business under an LLC, right? Did y'all know you can form an LLC with $0 plus state fees with Zen Business? Zen Business makes this process so easy for you. Zen Business has a really easy to use filing process with the
In the park.
Yeah, right. So he brings me to the show, and I get there, and you got to remember, I grew up watching NWA and WWE. Never really seen guys with the masks, You know, I'd seen Mil Mascaras, but that's like one guy out of everybody. All these guys had masks. You know, I saw very, very young Eddie Guerrero, a very young Negro Casas, you know, and I was mesmerized, bro, by the capes, by the mask, by what they were doing, the ferocity of the crowd. You know, it was just electric to me. I was like, wow, this is really cool, you know. So we go back to the dressing room, and he introduces me to the promoter. And at that time, I was a bodybuilder. I was pretty big, and they were like, he goes, yeah, man, this guy right here, he wrestled in Florida. And I go, no, I didn't. He goes, just go along with it. I go, all right. He goes, he wrestled in Florida, and the promoter turns around and goes, who do you wrestle? And I started to name all these guys from Florida.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. He goes, then I'm going to book you next week. And I was like, what does that mean? He goes, you're wrestling next week. I go, bro, I don't even know how to fucking wrestle. He goes, just go in the ring and knock the motherfucker out.
Come
I was
on.
like, really? And he goes, yeah, just go in the ring and knock the guy out. Now, remember, I think wrestling's real. So I don't really know that. You know, I kind of knew something was going on, but I wasn't sure where it was. You know, I was very, still kind of naive. And I was like, oh, fuck. I go, maybe I could do that. I'll go in, knock a motherfucker out. I go, but why hasn't it been done before? You know? So I was like conflicted, And so...
What year is this?
This probably was 87, 88, something like that.
Okay.
And so I'm like, so we get there and my outfit isn't done. So this guy wants me to wear his outfit, which was super whack and it didn't fit me. And I was like, I go, bro, what happens if they throw me through the ropes and I fall through the ropes and everybody laughs at me? He goes, that's not going to happen because you're going to knock them out. And I go, but what if it does happen? I go, I'm going to be the laughing stock of Tijuana. And he goes, nah, don't worry. He goes, so we get there and I'm in the very first match and they have me announced as the Incredible Hulk. I'm like, fuck. I actually got nervous, bro, because I thought really, this was the only thing that stopped me, Cole, from actually going, who knows what would have happened. I mean, if I would have gone into the dressing room, the guys go, oh, well, here I'm going to do this to you and that. And I'm going, what? I'm just going to knock your bitch ass out, Who knows what would happen, And so, but I was afraid that I was going to go through the ropes. So I told them, look, the only way I'll wrestle, I goes, if you teach me how to hit the ropes or whatever terminology I use, because I'm sure I didn't say hit the ropes,
Right.
So he brings me to a gym and Rey Mysterio Sr.'s there, Rey Mysterio Jr.'s uncle. And he was the world champion at that time and he's putting on oil, and he comes up to me and goes, are you the guy that wrestled in Florida? And I go, no, I've never wrestled. He goes, and why did you come here and you lied? And I go, because my manager, your manager? You've never wrestled and you have a manager? Oh, yeah, doesn't everybody? No. He goes, who the fuck's your manager? And I go, John Roberts, the champion. And he turns around and he goes, that guy's not a champion, he's a fan. Some fan.
Oh, come on.
I was serious, that's how I got into the business. Some fan lied to me, told me he was a wrestler, showed me a gimmick to wrestling thing.
So he was a white guy.
Yeah, he was a white guy.
Okay.
And then later on, I find out that the limp he had, he actually had a prosthetic leg. So this guy but that's how I got into the business.
What a weird fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
So how did he get in the back?
They knew him. He was like a fan that would always go pick up the wrestlers and, pick them up at the airport, take them to the hotel.
There's so many
the fan, right?
There's so many of those guys around, right?
Right.
Why wouldn't you know?
Yeah.
And they all pretend like, fuck, man. So that's been happening forever, the idea of that guy. But did you ever be like 20 years later, were you ever like, why did you do that? Have you ever talked to him?
No, because he was so into that whole thing. We used to make fun of him because he used to say, yeah, I fought. There's a guy in Mexico called Super Raton, which is in Spanish, it's actually Mighty Mouse.
Okay.
He used to say, yeah, I wrestled Super Raton, because I was actually using him because he would drive me to LA, he'd drive me to Bakersfield. So I'd have to listen to his bullshit stories and kind of go along. Because if I kind of broke his bubble, he probably would go into shell shock and never take me anywhere because of the embarrassment. So I had to kind of keep the story going. So he would take me everywhere and pay for my shit. So he would say, yeah, I fought Super Raton. And yeah. And then one day I go, well, you know what? I just met Super Raton in Mexico. I'm going to ask him the next time I see him. He can say, no, it's my shot. Right. So one time, he wanted to be my manager, and we were in a battle royal. So I told him, I go, when I'm in the ring, John, I want you to come in and I want you to grab a guy. So I told Ray the story. Well, at that time, it had to be 17 years old. I go, when John gets into the ring, I want you to drop kick him until he falls on his ass. You know, make him pay a lesson for trying to be into the wrestling business, you know? And Ray was, man, I can't do that. He's got a bad leg. I go, fuck that. I go, just get him. You know?
Not only does he have a bad leg, he has no leg.
Right. Yeah, but I just wanted to like break his bubble because he just thought wrestling was so easy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And so poor Ray, man, I just kept on him until he did it.
Yeah.
You know, and he hit him once, he kind of tumbled. He hit him again, and he fucking took a bump. His leg almost came off, and Ray was, I'm sorry. And the guy went out, and I go, you had enough? He goes, no, I'm ready to go in there. That's like
Then you really have to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. He's driving you everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So Rey Mysterio Sr.
Yes.
was like, fine, okay, you can be in a match. And then, did you beat the fuck out of that guy?
No, what happened was
He taught you the ropes.
Yeah. No. First, I went with a guy that was in the Navy and another Cuban guy that was in the Navy with me. All three of us went. After 2 weeks, they quit because they were really trying to make us quit. I mean, I was walking around. You know, I was still in the Navy at that time. I was in the Navy, and then at night I would go train.
Fit as can be, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I was like fucking, well, I was a juice head at that time. And I was like in the ship, dizzy from concussions. They fractured my wrist. They fractured my hip. But I just wasn't going to quit.
25 fish, I might have caught 3. He was in the sweet spot. He just gets falling out of the water, and I'm over looking like, God dang, this guy's the
for the vacant championship, which means tonight we finally crowned one
We
of
get
these
back to the
superstars
lodge,
as next champion.
and it's a very basic structure. There's a screen door, and when we come to this trip, someone had put a big lazy boy chair there, made out of vinyl, and there was a table with an old school VHS deck on it, and a blue color TV, and it was Cape Fear, the movie.
You don't want to compromise your ability to
Rick
throw a
Rude caught
punch or
probably 20, 25 fish. I might have caught 3. He was in the sweet spot.
Penny predicament, forces the shoulder up. No harm in seeing if you can finish him off quick there. Drop kick hits the mark. Connecting with a standing moonsault. Not only does the standing moonsault physically hurt, it's got to bruise the ego too. That'll turn your lights out. Big clothesline.
Can you please pretend?
Lesnar is the biggest drawing money heel in professional wrestling today. The problem is he's not a professional wrestling. But what did he do? What did Brock Lesnar do? Did anybody see the pay-per-view? Do something. Okay. Dana's happy. Here comes a guy into the MMA world. I'm sorry, Chris. I'll get back to you.
Dropped on their crown.
We're close. Here comes a guy in the MMA world. Phony wrestling. Fuck you. That's what the MMA fans are thinking, right? And the fighters and the journalists and everybody else. This is seriously sport. He's a phony wrestler. Phony wrestling also has to be a fucking genetic freak. We hit him in Louisville. He could hit him with a sledgehammer in the head. We used to call him Clock yesterday. In fact,
The WWE
here is the biggest calling money in professional wrestling today. The problem is he's not professional wrestling. But what did he do? What did Brock Lesnar do? Did anybody see the pay-per-view? Do something. Okay.
The daredevil in you comes out when you take risks like that.
Here comes a guy into the MMA world. I'm sorry, Chris. I'll get back to you in a second.
Right in front of our faces.
We're
Close
close.
and personal than I'd like to be.
Here comes a guy in the MMA world. A phony wrestler.
And he's showcasing some dominance
That's
here.
what the MMA fans are thinking, right? And the fighters and the journalists and everybody else. This is seriously sport. He's a phony wrestler. Phony wrestler also happens to be a fucking genetic freak.
This feels so unsafe.
We had him in Louisville. My God, you could hit him with a sledgehammer in the head. We used to call him Block Lesnar behind his back.
Taking this one back to the ring now. The ref's count
He's
ain't
the biggest
stopping. The clock is ticking here.
Are you getting S?
No.
This is the big.
Man, pinpoint precision, right on target.
Who are some of the dudes that put up the biggest weight in the gym? Obviously, you were probably an animal in the gym, right?
I was animal in the wrestling, let me ask you that. What is the toughest sport in the world? In the gym or in the wrestling?
Well, I'm gonna say in the wrestling, but you were a fit man.
Absolutely. I wrestled all my life since I was young, 15 years old. Wrestling is in my blood.
But look, again, only one guy can do one thing. They were already convinced after the first 15 minutes, this guy came back and made an impact that went over our heads. And that's not...
Here comes the Bucky Beaver story. We got to go to Halifax, Nova Scotia for Monday Night Raw. Has anybody here ever gone to Halifax, Nova Scotia? That's what I thought. And you didn't like it, did you, once you got there?
Definitely not something you would deal with at a time like this. Impressive.
The plane tickets are like $1,200 a piece to go to Halifax unless you get a Saturday night stay. So they fly us in on Saturday afternoon for a Monday night show, and we're sitting in Halifax. I didn't bring a fishing pole or a hunting rifle, so I'm pretty well screwed. Here comes the Bucky Beaver story. We got to go to Halifax, Nova Scotia for Monday Night Raw. Has anybody here ever gone to Halifax, Nova Scotia?
The quickness on this.
That's what I thought. And you didn't like it, did you, once you got there? Yeah, well, then fuck you anyway. Okay, so.
He climbs into the ring.
They found out the plane tickets are like $1,200 a piece to go to Halifax unless you get a Saturday night stay. So they fly us in on Saturday afternoon for a Monday night show, and we're sitting in Halifax.
He just did stuff that didn't he? I won't do it now. Think about it. I won't want to go to high school wrestling now.
Tell me some of the people that you worked with in Mexico that we may have heard of.
When I first got there, my tech partner was El Spiritus.
Continuing to attack the neck.
Dr. Wagner.
Tripped over the top
Yeah, he was. He just finished it all. Yeah, I know he run the program. I think I was in a tag match with him once.
Wasting absolutely no respect on his opponent. You gotta love
somebody
it.
else. Because I remember it clear as day. There were 6 of us out with him.
Yeah, double arm lock sock. It couldn't have felt good being chucked around like that.
Very good. Unbelievable experience, unbelievable.
Setting up.
But that's what you did then. He just did stuff then.
What are they doing here?
I won't do it now. Think about it. I won't want to go to high school wrestling now.
Right. Tell me some of the people that you worked with in Mexico that we may have heard of.
When I first got there, my tech partner was El Spiritus.
What's coming next?
Dr. Wagner.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah, he was. He just finished it all.
Let's just all take a moment to truly appreciate and embrace his presence.
El Spiritus, somebody else.
He's definitely being the aggressor here.
There were 6 of us out with him.
A lot out
You
here.
want to crossover, you think, in the way you look at wrestling?
Yeah, no doubt. Look at us. We took the wrestling. We took wrestling to the music to the fullest. You know,
look at us. We're fucking gimmick.
Well, we used to do interviews, and sometimes still now, we put it like a wrestling program, yelling at the camera, all that crazy shit, you know?
We used to do interviews and just be as wild and fucking crazy as we possibly could, taken from wrestling. Trying to be characters, trying to sell that we're out of our minds. You know what I'm saying? And we, especially in Europe, man, it's the blood of mouth over there. But, you know, just like wrestling, if anybody thinks we're real, like if anybody thinks we're actually serial killer clowns, they got something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's an obvious gimmick. Everything is gimmick. Every time, you know, especially back in the day when we do interviews, it's all gimmick. All that shit, man. Now, the things we believe are real, any type of evil in the world, in our music, we murder those people. That anger is real. It's really in us. But we're not actually doing that shit. It's just entertainment. It's loud and it's brash, but it's entertainment.
Across the face. Oh, man. He's
Also, you think of the way you look at wrestling, the way you look at music.
Yeah, no doubt. Look at us. We took the wrestling. We took wrestling to the music to the fullest. You know, look at us. We're a fucking gimmick. When we used to do interviews, and sometimes still now, we kind of like a wrestling promo, yelling at the camera, all that crazy shit, you know? We used to do interviews and just be as wild and fucking crazy as we possibly could, taking for wrestling, trying to be characters, trying to sell that we're out of our minds, you know what I'm saying? And we, especially in Europe, man, we still got them up over there.
And he keeps his focus on an attack to that area.
But, you know, just like wrestling, if anybody thinks we're real, like if anybody thinks we're actually serial killer clowns, they got something wrong with them, you know what I'm saying? And this is gimmick. Everything gimmick. Every time, you know, especially back in the day when we do interviews, it's all gimmick, all that shit, man. Now, the things we believe are real, any type of evil in the world, in our music, we murder those people. That anger is real. It's really in us, but we're not actually doing that shit. It's just entertainment. It's loud and it's brash, but it's entertainment.
Also, you think of the way you look at wrestling and the way you look at music.
Yeah, no doubt. Look at us. We took the wrestling. We took wrestling to the music to the fullest. You know, look at us. We're a fucking gimmick. When we used to do interviews, and sometimes still now, we kind of like a wrestling promo, yelling at the camera, all that crazy shit, you know? We used to do interviews.
Hey, what it do? Y'all said the entertainer. Hey, listen up, man. Look, if you could.
I went under the ring after I did the 50.
He blistered me one time for comparing Edge games.
After about 4.
Want more time to focus on growing your small business? Try Intuit QuickBooks. AI.
I said, look, this doesn't make any sense. Put me in the ring. Let me work matches. My stuff can happen in the ring. It didn't make any sense. The kind of money that they paid me, and then for the last 2 months of my contract, of a 6-month contract, I didn't even work it. I mean, they didn't give the character an even opportunity. That was stupid.
Kevin Dunn is and has been for way too long the executive producer of WWF WWE. He's universally disliked, but he's so powerful because Vince likes him that nobody will knock him to his face. He doesn't like wrestling. He likes sports entertainment. He thinks that everything about wrestling is that Southern stuff. Treated me when I got up there like I was the guy that ran the Ferris wheel at the county fair. He's the guy who didn't think anybody in Madison Square Garden would know who Terry Funk was because he'd never been big in the WWF. And of course, as soon as he comes out with the pantyhose on his head, carrying the chainsaw, that Terry. He didn't think anybody would like Cactus Jack because, well, Cactus Jack was on their TV down south. He wasn't ever a star for us. Well, that's why when he walked out, people, Cactus Jack is back, oh God. He's been wrong every time. Kevin Dunn is and has been for way too long the executive producer of the WWF WWE. He's universally disliked, but he's so powerful because Vince likes him that nobody will knock him to his face. He doesn't like wrestling. He likes sports entertainment. He thinks that everything about wrestling is that Southern stuff. Treated me when I got up there like I was the guy that ran the Ferris wheel at the county fair. He's the guy who didn't think anybody in Madison Square Garden would know who Terry Funk was because he'd never been big in the WWF. And of course, as soon as he comes out with the pantyhose on his head, carrying the chainsaw, that Terry. He didn't think anybody would like Cactus Jack because, well, Cactus Jack was on their TV down south. He wasn't ever a star for us. Well, that's why when he walked out, people, Cactus Jack is back, oh God. He's been wrong every time. Kevin Dunn is and has been for way too long the executive.
You gotta be quick with it, man, especially on the mic. You gotta think on your feet, all that good stuff. You have to create a character for yourself, something that's gonna be appealing to people, something that's gonna relate to people.
Why do you care so much?
I would say Steve, right?
I mean, they didn't put me in the ring. I had a 6-month contract.
So he's just won the championship. And I says, John, congrats.
Things are about to get good.
The greatest. He was like, he wanted to give me advice, which is like, that's who John is, right? And he just said to me, I told you exactly what to do with Rumble. You take it, you've done it.
Cruiserweight Championship! Making his way to the ring from San Diego, California, weighing in at 190 pounds.
AJ Styles walks into the show and he says,
So much on the line here tonight, guys, as we look to crown a new champion.
That's right, Cole. We're guaranteed to have a new champion at the end of this one. It's not very often you can say that.
And you're going, it's nuts, man.
And here he
tell you how
comes.
fortunate I am to be living the life that I am.
And his opponent from Niigata, Japan,
So
weighing in
it's
at
just when you
187 pounds, Ultimo It's a big fight feel here tonight as the title is on the line. And title matches like this have a way of getting your blood flowing unlike any other match.
You've done it. You had a good performance. You're brilliant tonight.
Yeah. And then,
how are you supposed to prepare for something like this? You gotta keep your head on a swivel at all times.
Can I take it any better than this?
The official indicating that
AJ Styles walks into the shot and he says,
everyone, you got
"If you
it out
told
of your system.
the
Time to
TNA
get to
World
business. Action has made it back to the ring, and we can officially start this match.
Congrats.
Oh,
and
man.
you're going,
Yeah, the refs got their hands full in this one.
It's nuts, man. Like, I can't
Looking
tell you
worse
how
for wear in
fortunate
the
I am
corner
to be living the life that I am.
Wow, picture perfect moonsault.
So,
Looking
he's
for
just
an
won the
early pin.
championship.
He throws his
That's
shoulder
awesome.
up before
Well,
two.
This match is
congrats,
not
man.
going to end so
He
soon.
didn't want to talk about the fact he just became the greatest. He was like, he wanted to give me advice, which is like, that's who John is, right? And he just said to himself, I told you exactly what you need to do at the Rumble. You've taken it on board. You've done it. You got a good performance at the Rumble.
Throwing all caution to the wind and leap.
Yeah. And then I turn to the camera and I go, can I take it any better than this? If AJ Styles walks into the shop and he says, if you'd have told me that the TNA World Champion would walk out at WrestleMania, I wouldn't have believed it. Congrats, man. And you're going, it's nuts, man. Like, I can't tell you how fortunate I am to be
Quick
living
reflex
the
is
life
so
that I am.
important in a match like this. And gets tossed back into the mat.
So, he's just won the championship. That says, John, you congrats.
So athletic. Every ounce of momentum is now against him.
He's on his heels, that's for sure.
Because we did it for 6 weeks, right, until they shut the place down. There was nobody on it, right? But the 1 week went, Gloria Gaynor was on.
Outrageous athleticism on the hurt. Agility like that is what can set you apart from the rest of the locker room.
50 people staying on the camp. Yeah. So there was like 20 of them watching the wrestling. And it sort of went like that. There was a couple of hundred the next week. But the 1 week went, Gloria Gaynor was on, and there was like 1,000 people. None of them staying on the camp. A couple of hundred staying on the camp, but all the local area people came. And the Lord Mayor was there smiling, and we sat in the front row. We got to him. When you was 17 at the time, like, it was just like a great night because there was all this atmosphere. And I remember
He's
that
outside
really
the
well.
ring now.
Hope he's got a plan. Oof.
Shoulder to the gut.
We did it for 6
Sunset
weeks,
flip
right,
middle.
until they shut the place down.
Picture
There was
perfect
nobody on it,
example
right?
for when you
So the
just
1
want to
week
put
went,
someone
Gloria
down
Gaynor was on.
with authority.
She was on federal stuff, and it was sold out. It was unbelievable, you know, because every week, like the second week was like 50 people staying on the camp. Yeah. So there was like 20 of them watching the wrestling, and it sort of went like that. There was a couple of hundred
This
the
one
next
is headed
week.
outside, guys.
But the 1 week went, Gloria Gaynor was on, and there was
And
like
he'll leave the
1,000
ring for
people.
this next
None of them
stretch.
staying on the camp. A couple of hundred staying on the camp, but all the local area people came. And the World Mayor was there smiling, everything sat in the front row, and we got to it. And like, when you was 17 at the time, it was just like a great night because there was all this atmosphere, and I remember that really well.
Running sit-out powerbomb. What goes up must come down, and it sure as hell did right there.
Because we did it for 6 weeks, right, until they shut the place down. There was nobody on it, right? But the 1 week went, Gloria Gaynor was on. She was on federal stuff, and it was sold out. It was unbelievable, you know. We got there with a match. I took the shoulder pad.
Giving a massive effort to overcome the pin attempt.
And I thought that was really cool. And the guy sitting in that jacket, and that jacket. So I don't know what the bloated ass guy was talking about. You know, but if you got a problem with it, you know how it comes out here if you got something to say. Don't be a little bitch and sit on video. You got something to say if you come in and say it or call me
And
on.
yet he's still in this match? Whoa, leaping through the air.
He's got him
We got there with a match. I took the shoulder pads. Back to home.
Double chicken wing.
And I thought that was really cool. And the guy sitting in that jacket, and that jacket. So I don't know what the
And that's it.
bloated ass guy was talking about. Yeah.
You know, when we got there, two of the fellas wouldn't go on. Two of the older wrestlers, what they didn't mean.
Celebrating the championship
went
win
over to
here.
five. It got there,
History in the making. This is